Confidence is not loud. It doesn't need to shout, prove, or display itself to be seen. True confidence is quiet. It's the calm power that speaks even when you say nothing. The world often mistakes arrogance for confidence, but arrogance is fragile. It's built on validation. True confidence, on the other hand, comes from within. It's built on understanding who you are and knowing that you need nothing from anyone to feel complete. Machiavelli understood something that most people miss. He knew that real power comes from perception, and perception begins with self-control. When you have the ability to stay calm while others panic, to remain silent when others rush to speak, and to move with purpose while others react emotionally, that is when people feel your power without you having to announce it. The most powerful trait of truly confident people is restraint. The ability to control yourself when the situation tempts you to lose control. Anyone can act tough, anyone can raise their voice, but it takes a master to stay composed when challenged. That calmness isn't weakness, it's domination. It shows that nothing can shake you. Confidence doesn't come from always winning. It comes from not being afraid to lose. When you don't fear outcomes, you move differently. You negotiate differently. You speak differently. People can sense it. They feel that you are not desperate for approval, for love, or for attention. And that unsettles them because most people are slaves to the need for validation. When you don't play that game, you immediately stand above those who do. Think about how lions behave. They don't roar constantly to prove their strength. They walk slowly, they observe, they know everything in their environment. They strike only when necessary. That's what true confidence looks like: quiet, precise, and undeniable. The insecure scream for attention. The powerful command it effortlessly. Machiavelli would tell you that your power depends on your ability to project calm dominance. The man who cannot control his emotions will always be controlled by others. The world belongs to those who appear unshaken. You can face betrayal, insult, or pressure, and yet you move as if nothing happened. That's terrifying to people because it shows that your emotions are at your command. Confidence is not about what you have, it's about what you can lose and still remain the same. When nothing can take away your sense of self, when no insult can make you doubt your worth, you become unstoppable. That's when you become truly dangerous, because others can't manipulate you through fear or flattery. Every time you react emotionally, you hand your power to someone else. Every time you stay composed, you take it back. This is why Machiavellian confidence isn't loud. It's strategic. You choose when to reveal your strength, and you know that silence can sometimes strike deeper than words. Truly confident people don't chase, they attract. They don't beg, they allow. They don't explain themselves endlessly because their presence already explains everything. You can feel it when such a person walks into a room. They don't demand attention, yet everyone notices them. Their body language, tone, and energy all signal that they know their own value. But how do you develop that kind of confidence? It starts with detachment. You must stop letting your self-worth depend on outcomes. Don't let rejection, failure, or judgment define who you are. When you stop caring about external validation, your confidence stops being conditional. You are no longer confident because of what you have. You are confident because of who you've become. Every great leader, every powerful figure in history learned this. They trained themselves to look unaffected in the face of chaos. Because once people see you panic, they stop following you. Once they see that their words can provoke you, they start controlling you. Confidence, therefore, is not the absence of fear, it's the mastery of it. Machiavelli would say that men are moved by two things: fear and desire. When you master both within yourself, no one can use them against you. You become unpredictable. You can't be manipulated by flattery because you don't crave praise, and you can't be controlled by threats because you don't fear loss. That's the heart of true confidence. You have to become so secure in your identity that the world's opinions no longer sway you. People will try to test you, provoke you, and see how you react. But you must learn to respond with stillness. Your calmness will unsettle them more than any argument, because calmness in chaos is the rarest form of power. The truly confident don't gossip, don't explain, and don't overreact. And they understand that everything they say either increases or decreases their perceived value. The less you say, the more people wonder what you're thinking. Mystery builds power. Silence commands respect. The more people have to guess about your intentions, the more they respect your presence. Confidence also comes from preparation. When you know your capabilities, you don't need to boast. People who fake confidence are always trying to convince others. Those who truly have it don't care to convince anyone. They just show up and let results speak. Remember, the insecure man performs for the crowd. The confident man performs for himself. The insecure seeks attention. The confident creates gravity. You can't fake that. It's either there or it's not. And it only comes from deep self-awareness and discipline. Machiavelli believed that power is built on perception. If people perceive you as confident, calm, and in control, they will treat you as such. So you must craft your image carefully, move slower, speak less. Maintain eye contact. Smile rarely, but when you do, make it meaningful. Let people feel that your attention is valuable. Give it sparingly. The moment others feel that your presence is rare, they'll start to chase it. Truly confident people also know when to walk away. They don't cling. They don't stay in situations that drain their energy. Because they know that walking away from anything that disturbs their peace is a declaration of strength. Weak people stay to prove a point. The strong leave to protect their energy. Your greatest weapon is emotional control. Every outburst, every argument, every desperate reaction, those are moments when you hand your power away. But every pause, every composed silence, every measured response, that's when you take your power back. True confidence is not born overnight. It's built over time through discomfort. Every time you face fear and don't run, you strengthen it. Every time you fail but get up again, it grows. Confidence is built in solitude, in moments when no one applauds you, when you push yourself to keep going even when the world doesn't notice. People who appear calm under pressure have trained for it. They've faced their demons, they've been broken, and they've rebuilt themselves. That's why their energy feels so powerful. They've earned it. When you've been through chaos and survived, nothing outside can shake you anymore. That's what makes you unbreakable. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being authentic and unshaken by imperfection. You can make mistakes and still move forward with dignity. You can lose and still walk with presence. Because your confidence isn't tied to winning, it's tied to being grounded in who you are. You must learn to detach from outcomes, silence your ego, and master your emotions. That's when you'll feel true confidence radiating through you. You'll speak less, but your words will carry more weight. You'll move slower, but people will move out of your way. You'll stop chasing validation because you'll realize you already have everything within you. Machiavelli would say, appear calm, act with purpose, and let others underestimate you. Your calmness is your weapon. Your silence is your armor. Your self-control is your throne. The world will always test your patience, your emotions, your limits. But if you remain composed through it all, you'll rise above everyone who reacts. When others panic, stay still. When they speak too much, listen. When they rush, move with grace. When they lose control, smile inwardly, because you've already won. You've mastered yourself, and that's the highest form of power. Because the truth is simple, the most powerful trait of truly confident people is restraint, the ability to remain calm, composed, and unbothered in a world that constantly tries to shake them. That's what separates those who pretend to have confidence from those who truly possess it. And when you reach that level, you don't need to prove anything to anyone ever again. Your silence, your presence, and your calm control will say everything for you. Confidence is not a performance. It's a presence. It's the energy that says, I know who I am without uttering a single word. You can feel it in someone who has mastered themselves. Their stillness speaks louder than noise. Their silence draws curiosity. Their calm unnerves the loud and insecure. Most people today confuse confidence with validation. They think it's about being seen, being liked, being followed. But Machiavelli would laugh at that illusion. Real confidence doesn't chase eyes, it commands them. The difference lies in detachment. The confident person doesn't need the world's approval to feel powerful. They are their own source of validation. There's something deeply unsettling about someone who can't be provoked. When insults roll off you like rain on stone, when you don't rise to bait, when you don't explain yourself endlessly, you begin to look like someone not from this world. That's because control over emotion is the rarest human strength. Machiavelli knew that people are slaves to emotion. Fear, pride, envy, lust, these are the levers that rulers pull to control the masses. But if you learn to master these forces within yourself, you step out of the crowd. You can't be manipulated. You can't be owned. That's when you become powerful beyond measure. A confident person doesn't react. They observe. They take in information without immediately showing emotion. Every time you react quickly, you reveal your weakness. Every time you pause, you gain control. That pause is your power, because in that moment, you're not ruled by impulse. You're ruled by strategy. Confidence is built through mastery of skill, mastery of thought, mastery of self. When you've disciplined yourself long enough, your posture changes, your tone becomes steady. You stop over-explaining because you realize that truth doesn't require permission to exist. That's when your aura becomes undeniable. You start to notice how the world bends slightly around you. People adjust their tone when they speak to you. They hesitate before they argue. They sense your stillness and subconsciously feel that you see more than you show. That's the aura of quiet power, the essence of Machiavellian confidence. You must remember, the world is full of actors, people pretending to be confident, pretending to be fearless. But the moment things go wrong, they crumble. Their mask falls. True confidence is tested in silence, in loss, in solitude. When things fall apart and you don't, you become rare, and what's rare becomes powerful. Stop trying to convince the world of your worth. The sun doesn't argue with the darkness. It simply shines. You don't need to explain your greatness. Just embody it. Because the moment you explain, you already look uncertain. Mystery breeds respect. Overexposure kills it. The confident person knows that silence is a form of dominance. In negotiation, the one who speaks less usually wins. In arguments, the one who keeps his calm usually controls the room. Silence makes others project their own thoughts onto you. It keeps you in control of perception, and perception is everything. Machiavelli said that the appearance of power is as important as power itself. So never appear desperate, never appear reactive, never appear uncertain. Even when you are unsure, move with calm certainty. Because perception shapes reality. The more stable you appear, the more others will treat you as unshakable. When people see that you are not easily impressed, they start to crave your approval. When they see you are not easily angered, they start to fear your composure. When they realize that nothing they do can shake you, they begin to respect you, sometimes even worship you. That's the silent transformation of power from within to without. True confidence is not a performance for the world. It's a conversation with yourself. It's looking in the mirror and saying, "I'm enough," even if no one sees it. That kind of peace cannot be faked. It's built from facing failure and realizing it didn't destroy you. From being rejected and realizing you still stand tall. From being misunderstood and realizing you don't need to be understood to move forward. Confidence grows in solitude. When you spend time alone, you learn who you are without noise. You start to hear your own voice again. You stop seeking permission. You begin to move with quiet certainty. The longer you spend mastering your solitude, the stronger your presence becomes in the world. Truly confident people don't compare themselves to others. Comparison is the death of confidence. Every time you look at someone else's path, you weaken your own. The confident man doesn't look left or right. He moves forward, focused, deliberate. He knows his time will come, and he doesn't waste energy trying to prove it. Machiavelli would say that power is best hidden. The more people know about your plans, your emotions, your weaknesses, the easier it is for them to control you. So protect your inner world. Keep people guessing, share less, reveal less, express less. The more unpredictable you are, the more powerful you appear. Confidence is not in your words, it's in your energy. People remember how you make them feel more than what you say. When your energy says, "I'm grounded, calm, and sure of myself," you don't have to demand respect, it's given. When you truly believe you deserve greatness, you move like it's already yours. Don't chase attention, let it chase you. Don't seek validation, let your silence draw curiosity. Don't fight for dominance, let your composure declare it. True confidence has nothing to prove. It simply exists and everyone can feel it. The most powerful people in history were not the loudest, they were the most disciplined. Caesar, Napoleon, Alexander, Machiavelli himself all understood one thing. Mastery over self precedes mastery over others. Before you conquer the world, you must conquer your own mind. That is the essence of the Machiavellian approach. Control perception, control yourself, and the world will move according to your rhythm. Every word, every gesture, every silence becomes strategic. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's intelligence in motion. There's an elegance in quiet power. It doesn't need to announce itself because it's undeniable. When you walk with calm purpose, when your eyes show no fear, when your voice remains steady even in confrontation, that's when people start to believe in you. Not because you tell them to, but because they can feel it. And remember this, true confidence is not about domination. It's about mastery. The man who dominates others may be powerful, but the man who dominates himself is untouchable. You must learn to be like still water, reflective, calm, and deep. Water adapts to its surroundings but never loses its essence. That's how the confident move, flexible, unbothered, adaptable, yet always in control. The weak need constant reassurance. The confident find it within. The weak crumble under pressure. The confident breathe slower. The weak fear silence. The confident use it as their weapon. The world will always try to test your strength, your patience, your calm, but your greatest victory will be in refusing to react. Let the storm rage outside. Remain the stillness at the center of it. That's where your power lies. Because once you stop needing the world to validate you, once you stop explaining, once you stop reacting, you rise above it. You become the one who controls the tempo of every interaction. That's not arrogance. That's not arrogance. That's Machiavellian confidence. Confidence is the art of stillness in a restless world. It's the ability to move slowly while others rush, to think deeply while others react, to stay silent while others crave attention. Every movement, every word, every pause of a confident person has weight because nothing is wasted. They don't act from impulse, they act from intention. When you have mastered your emotions, you control time itself. You slow everything down. You make others adjust to your pace. That's the secret. The impatient always lose to the composed, because impatience is weakness revealed and calmness is strength concealed. People always reveal who they are when they are emotional, but the confident reveal nothing. Their expression doesn't change. Their tone doesn't waver. They observe, they calculate, and when they finally move, it's decisive. That is how influence is created, not through force, but through presence. Machiavelli understood that people fear what they don't understand and respect what they can't shake. When you show no reaction, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability is power. It keeps people cautious around you. They wonder what you're thinking, how much you know, what your next move will be. That mystery creates an aura, and that aura becomes protection. True confidence is calm authority. It never begs, never argues, never competes. Because once you compete for validation, you've already lowered your status. The confident don't chase, they choose. They don't fight for attention, they command it through focus and detachment. To be truly confident, you must be comfortable with silence. Most people can't handle silence because silence reveals truth. But the confident one thrives in it. Silence makes others uneasy. It forces them to fill the gap with their insecurity. The confident simply watches, knowing that control always belongs to the one who needs less. Detachment is not indifference. It's power. It's knowing that you can care deeply without being owned by what you care about. You can love, but not lose yourself in love. You can lead, but not depend on being followed. You can engage, but not crave approval. That's balance, and balance is what the world respects most. When you walk through life with calm detachment, people start to test you less. They sense that you can't be shaken, so they stop trying. That's the point where you move from being noticed to being respected. Respect is earned not through words, but through the energy you project when everything around you falls apart, and you stay centered. Machiavelli would say that to appear confident, one must never show need. Neediness is the smell of weakness. Confidence smells like freedom. Need says, I depend on you. Confidence says, I choose you. One pushes people away, the other pulls them in. People are magnetized by those who appear independent of external validation. And remember, confidence has nothing to do with appearance. You can dress perfectly and still feel small inside. You can have status and still crumble under judgment. Confidence is spiritual armor. It's invisible but undeniable. It's built from the quiet work of knowing your worth and defending your peace. In a room full of noise, the most powerful person is the one who listens, because the listener sees everything. When you observe rather than react, you notice patterns others miss. You become strategic instead of emotional. That's how you start to influence outcomes without ever forcing them. When you speak, speak with purpose. Every word should come from certainty, not desperation. Don't rush to fill silence. Let it work for you. Silence builds tension, and tension commands focus. Machiavellian confidence is about owning the psychological space around you. You set the rhythm. Others follow it. Confidence is also in how you recover. Everyone falls, but not everyone rises with dignity. When you fail, when you lose, when life strips you down to nothing, that's when real confidence is born. It's not about pretending to be perfect. It's about knowing that even at your lowest, your essence remains untouchable. Don't confuse performance with power. Performance fades when the stage lights turn off. Power stays even in the dark. The truly confident man doesn't change when eyes are on him or off him. He's the same in silence as in spotlight. That consistency builds trust, and trust is the foundation of influence. Confidence is like a weapon you don't always draw. The more you carry it with quiet ease, the more people sense it. The less you talk about it, the more they feel it. That's how real presence works. It's not about expression, it's about vibration. People feel what words can't describe. Machiavelli said that fortune favors those who act with boldness. But boldness is not recklessness. Boldness without self-control is chaos. Confidence without restraint is arrogance. And arrogance always collapses under pressure. The confident man knows when to act and when to wait. Not when to wait. His timing is his strength. To master confidence, you must master three things: your tone, your pace, and your silence. Speak calmly, move slowly, and allow pauses to breathe. The world today moves too fast. People who rush seem nervous. People who wait seem powerful. Because patience signals control, and control is the language of confidence. Confidence is not about never feeling fear. It's about acting with clarity despite it. Courage doesn't mean you don't tremble. It means your vision is stronger than your doubt. Every time you step forward, despite uncertainty, your confidence grows another layer deeper. You must also protect your energy like a king guards his throne. Don't let everyone have access to your emotions, your plans, your inner world. The more selective you are, the more your presence increases in value. People respect what's rare. Be rare. When you walk into a room, don't try to impress. Simply be. Your grounded energy will speak for itself. When you speak, don't rush to be understood. Let people wonder. That's how mystery builds authority. Machiavelli believed that image was a tool of influence, but the image must match inner strength. If you pretend to be calm but you're unstable inside, people will sense. So the goal isn't to fake confidence. It's to become confident by building unshakable control over your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions. When you reach that point, your silence becomes louder than any speech. Your stillness becomes magnetic. Your gaze alone can communicate volumes. You won't need to prove anything. People will just know. And that's the final truth. The most powerful trait of truly confident people is restraint. The ability to remain calm when the world demands chaos, to stay silent when others shout, to stay graceful when others lose control. That's what gives them power. That's what makes them unforgettable. Because confidence isn't built in noise, it's built in quiet. It's not shown through dominance, it's shown through discipline. When you no longer chase control, control naturally flows to you. When you stop needing to be seen, the world begins to notice. Be the calm one in a world that panics. Be the silent one in a world that screams. Be the still one in a world that moves too fast. That's how power is built, not through force, but through mastery. And once you master yourself, the world will bend quietly in your favor. That is the essence of true confidence. That is the Machiavellian way. Confidence is a kind of silence that comes from knowing who you are, even when the world tries to make you forget. You've faced rejection, you've been doubted, you've lost things that once defined you, and yet you're still here. That's confidence. That's strength. Not the fake kind that shouts, but the kind that endures. True confidence is not something you show. It's something you radiate. You can't buy it. You can't fake it. It's born from surviving what was meant to destroy you. Each scar, each failure, each heartbreak, they polish you into calm steel. And one day you realize nothing outside you has power anymore because you have already faced worse within. Machiavelli understood that human beings seek stability. They follow those who don't crumble. When everyone else loses their direction, they look for someone who stands firm. If you can be that person, the unmoved, the still, the focused, people will naturally trust your leadership. That's the secret of the truly confident. They don't seek control. They become it. The essence of power is consistency. The man who can hold the same calm expression under praise and under insult, under chaos and under comfort, that man is free, because no one can control him anymore. Confidence is not about being fearless. It's about walking forward even when fear whispers in your ear. It's about acknowledging doubt but not bowing to it. The confident don't need to feel brave, they simply act with purpose. The world remembers action, not hesitation. There will be moments when you'll be misunderstood, when your silence will be taken for arrogance, your calm for indifference. Let them misunderstand. You don't owe the world your explanations. People interpret through their own insecurities. You're not here to convince, you're here to move with quiet certainty. Machiavelli would tell you that it's better to be underestimated than overexposed, because those who underestimate you reveal their weakness. They show you where they stand, and when the time comes, you'll move with precision while they're still underestimating your silence. Confidence is strategic patience. It's knowing when to act and when to wait. The impulsive are slaves to timing. The confident command it. They don't chase moments, they create them. Every pause, every breath, every still glance is part of their rhythm. And that rhythm is hypnotic to those who live in chaos. The most powerful people rarely appear hurried. They make the world slow down to their tempo. The confident don't run, they walk, and the world moves around them, because the mind that moves slow sees far. You see, confidence isn't about dominance over others, it's dominance over chaos. It's being centered while everything around you spins out of control. When others lose their composure, you remain the eye of the storm, unmoved, untouched, untamed. That's what people feel when they sense your presence. That's what they mistake for magic. Confidence isn't loud. It doesn't need to broadcast. It simply is. It's the invisible force that bends energy around it. It's the kind of power that can fill a room without a word spoken. And when you've mastered it, you'll start to notice people treat you differently. They watch their tone, they measure their words. They sense something in you that they can't explain. That's when you've crossed into the realm of true influence. Machiavelli taught that influence isn't given, it's crafted. Every move, every reaction, every silence is a stroke of paint on the canvas of your reputation. You must build it carefully, deliberately, never in haste. A calm man with vision will always outlast the loud man with impulse. Confidence is also the ability to be alone without feeling lonely. Solitude doesn't scare the confident, it fuels them, because they know that in silence they find clarity. In isolation, they find strength. They understand that noise distracts while solitude refines. There's a dangerous kind of peace that comes when you stop chasing approval. It's a peace that makes people wonder how you can be so unaffected. That peace is the ultimate form of confidence, because nothing can be taken from someone who has already accepted himself fully. Confidence isn't an act. It's a discipline. It's built every day when you choose not to react, not to justify, not to seek attention. It's built in your daily restraint, in how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you breathe. Over time, that restraint becomes your second nature. You move differently. You speak differently. And the world responds differently. Powerful people don't waste words. They use silence as punctuation. They understand that every unnecessary word cheapens their value. The more you say, the less people hear. The less you say, the more they lean in. That's how you build psychological gravity, through silence, control, and timing. Confidence is not about being in control of everything. It's about being in control of yourself no matter what happens. You can't control what people think. You can't control every outcome, but you can control your focus, your tone, your energy. That's enough to shape destiny. Machiavelli believed that fortune favors those who can appear unshaken by it. So whether life gives you success or failure, take both with calm acceptance. Smile slightly, breathe deeply, and move on. The world won't understand that calm, and that's precisely why it will respect it. To be truly confident is to become unoffendable. When no insult touches you, when no praise blinds you, when no failure defines you, that's when you've become free. And freedom is the foundation of power. Every day, life will test your composure. People will push your buttons. Situations will tempt you to react. But your strength lies in your ability to pause, breathe, and stay still. Each time you do, your confidence grows. You train your nervous system to obey your will. You become a weapon wrapped in serenity. Confidence is not found in noise. It's forged in quiet resistance. Every time you refuse to lose yourself in chaos, you strengthen your command. The world bows to those who are calm under pressure. Because calmness is rare. Calmness is power. The most confident people move through life like they already know the outcome. Because deep down, they do. They trust themselves completely. They trust that no matter what happens, they will adapt, rebuild, and rise again. That kind of certainty doesn't come from ego. It comes from experience. In the end, confidence isn't about winning every battle. It's about walking away from battles that don't deserve your energy. It's about knowing that peace is worth more than victory, that restraint is stronger than reaction, that silence can be louder than words. Machiavelli would say, let others waste their time proving themselves. You, prove nothing. Be still, be calm, be deliberate. Let your actions echo through silence. Oh, because the most powerful man in the room is not the one who speaks the loudest. It's the one whose silence commands all attention. That's the art of true confidence. That's the secret of power that no one teaches. The power of restraint, the discipline of calm, the aura of control. When you master these, you no longer walk through the world, you glide through it. People will feel your presence before you even speak. And when you finally do speak, they will listen, because they'll know they're not hearing just another voice. They're hearing the voice of someone who has mastered himself. That is the most powerful trait of the truly confident. And that is the Machiavellian way. Confidence is not the roar of a lion. It is the silence that makes others listen. The truly confident do not need to prove anything because their very presence is proof enough. You can feel it when they walk into a room, the air changes, the noise softens, and every insecure soul looks for an anchor. Confidence in its purest form is invisible but undeniable. It is the unspoken certainty that whatever happens, you will remain untouched. The weak mistake arrogance for confidence. They raise their voices, inflate their achievements, and fill silence with noise because silence exposes their emptiness. But the confident man understands the power of restraint. He knows that silence unsettles more than words. He knows that the one who remains calm when others panic wins without effort. In the world of power, restraint is not weakness. It is dominance disguised as composure. When you are truly confident, you no longer chase approval. Approval begins to orbit around you. You become the sun in a world full of candles. People feel drawn to you not because you demand attention, but because your self-assurance gives them something they lack: stability. Machiavelli understood that control begins with perception. If others believe you are unshakable, then you are. The confident man crafts an aura that speaks before he does. He knows that the world believes in appearances more than reality. So he builds a presence that whispers, I do not need you to believe in me. I already do. True confidence is born from solitude. It is not built in applause. It is forged in silence, in moments when no one believes in you, but you keep moving. You learn to be your own witness. You stop waiting for validation because you realize that most people can't even validate themselves. You begin to understand that confidence isn't about believing you will succeed. It's about knowing that even if you fail, you'll remain the same. The confident man plays the long game. He doesn't rush to prove himself in battles that do not matter. He watches. He studies. He lets others reveal their impatience, their hunger for recognition, their desperation to be seen. And when the time comes, he moves once, and the world remembers. That is the difference between the loud and the powerful. The loud are noticed, the powerful are remembered. In every conversation, the confident man listens more than he speaks. He observes the tone, the rhythm, the small hesitations. While others are busy responding, he's decoding. His calm is not passivity, it is calculation. He knows that silence creates tension, and tension, when mastered, gives you control. The insecure rush to fill the silence. The confident let it speak for them. You will notice something about truly confident people. They never explain too much. They never justify. They never beg to be understood. Because explanation is a form of submission. To explain yourself is to admit that someone else's understanding matters more than your truth. The confident man knows his truth is not up for debate. Confidence also carries a kind of danger. It provokes insecurity in others. When you are unshaken, it mirrors every tremor in those who aren't. Some will envy you. Some will attack you. Some will try to draw you into their chaos just to feel equal. But the confident man never steps down into the mud to prove his strength. He lets time reveal who is who. Hi! The greatest form of revenge is stability. There is also a quiet sadness that comes with true confidence. The realization that most people are pretending, that their energy is built on noise, distraction, and illusion. The confident man often stands alone, not because he cannot connect, but because he cannot pretend. His calm makes others restless. His focus makes others insecure. But this isolation is not loneliness. It is sovereignty. To stand alone without fear is the ultimate form of power. You see, confidence does not mean you think you're better than others. It means you no longer compare yourself to them. Comparison is the chain that binds the weak. The confident man competes only with his own potential. Each day he asks, am I more disciplined than yesterday? Am I more controlled? His progress is measured in silence, not applause. And because of this, his energy feels dangerous. Not because he is violent, but because he is unpredictable. You cannot manipulate someone who doesn't crave approval. You cannot threaten someone who is at peace with himself. That's why confidence is feared. It makes you ungovernable. Machiavelli would tell you that in every court, every workplace, every social circle, there are only two types of people: those who seek validation and those who grant it. The confident belong to the latter. They are the silent judges of the room, setting standards without ever announcing them. Others adjust their behavior instinctively, trying to match their composure. The confident man is patient with outcomes because he understands timing. He knows that power revealed too soon is power wasted. Just as a tiger does not roar before it strikes, he keeps his intentions hidden until the moment demands action. His calm is not absence of emotion, it is control of it, and that control makes him magnetic. If you want to understand confidence, study how water behaves. It adapts to every container, yet remains itself. It can be gentle or destructive. It does not announce its depth. It reveals it when disturbed. The confident man moves through life like water, flexible, calm, unstoppable. He adjusts without losing his essence. Even in moments of failure, the confident man never collapses, because failure does not define him. Response does. He knows that the world respects those who do not flinch. When everything falls apart, he stays composed. That composure alone terrifies those who wanted to see him break. Confidence in that moment becomes resistance. He does not need to be loud because he has presence. He does not need to be right because he has clarity. He does not need to dominate others because he already dominates himself. And that is the essence of Machiavellian confidence. Power that is so internal, so complete that the world bends around it. To carry this kind of confidence is to understand human nature deeply. People follow strength, but they worship composure. The world is chaotic, unpredictable, unstable, and when someone moves through it with peace, everyone notices. You become a mirror for what others wish they were. But confidence cannot be faked for long. The mask always slips. The truly confident don't perform calmness, they live it. It comes from self-awareness, from mastering your fears one by one until there is nothing left to hide. When you accept your weaknesses fully, they lose their power to embarrass you. When you stop fearing loss, nothing can be taken from you. And that is why the confident man seems untouchable. Because he has already faced his own darkness and made peace with it. The opinions of others are whispers compared to the storms he has already survived. In the end, confidence is not a skill. It's a state of being. It's the realization that nothing outside you can define you. When you reach that point, your words slow down, your movements become deliberate, and your energy speaks louder than any speech ever could. People may not understand it, but they feel it. And that feeling, that unexplainable weight of presence, is what separates the truly confident from the rest. He walks through life with a steady rhythm, neither chasing nor retreating, simply existing in quiet dominance. He doesn't announce his worth, he embodies it. That is the Machiavellian way, to wield calmness as a weapon, to rule without needing to declare yourself king.